Record percentage says they own or someone in a household owns a gun. Record from right before Thanksgiving. Well, what's the record, you say? I'm glad you asked, Tim. Let's go to 7. More than half of American voters, a record high number, say they or someone in their household owns a gun, according to the survey, which has polled voters since 1999 about household gun ownership. 52% of respondents this year said they or someone in their home owns a gun. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
And let me tell you something about that statistic. It's not accurate. You know why?
Ooh.
Because if some random Joe called me on the phone like, hey, do you got any guns in the house? You know what my response would be? I don't know what you're talking about. Lose my number. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, I would just outright lie to him. Like, why would you? So that 52% is likely not the
Way
full
lower.
picture. Yeah. That's
Way lower.
lower than what the actual number. It's no different
100%.
than when everybody was convinced Trump was going to lose in 2016 because they were polling everybody. He was polling behind. And when he finally people went to the ballots, they voted for him. Why were the polls so far off? Because nobody wanted to admit they were going to vote for him.
Exactly.
And the same thing, like
the secret Trump voter, I think they called that.
Well, I've taken to the rare occasion I get the political phone calls, like asking me where I stand on political issues. It used to be I would just hang up on them. Now I mess with them because I want to steer the results because it's a joke. The polls are a joke. And so we'll cite polls and stuff like that, like we have here, but that doesn't mean we put a whole lot of stock in them, right?
Right. No, I agree.
And here I'm just pointing out the fact that it's probably off in our favor. I'm sorry, go ahead.
In our favor. Yeah. Right. No, you're absolutely right. In fact, funny story about pollsters, when they start texting you for Biden, one wouldn't leave me alone during the 2020 election. So finally I just leaned into it and I started saying how bad Biden was and I started stating facts. Oh, they removed me from the list then.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you that. They're like,
off the list really quick is to send them some memes.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
I sent him some memes. Exactly. It was about that time when Biden was saying that he likes when little kids roll up and down his leg and touch the hairs on his leg.
Oh, man, that was a special one.
That was a great time in life.
Doc,
but you know
Doc
what?
needs that one on the soundboard. Anyway.
Oh, God, we do. We really do need that one. I love when little kids touch my leg. Well, Joe. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Joe, goodness. Stop talking, Joe. It's okay. It's okay because that's one of our gifts in the world is along with the incredible inflation, the wars breaking out all over the world, supply interruptions, we get some amazing gaffes. It's almost better than the tweets, Tim. Almost better than the tweets. Almost. Well, we got a little bit of a squirrel moment there, but I think it was worth it. Mm-hmm. I think it was worth it for this one. Listen to this quote. It was a good time. It was a good time. So listen to this right here. Talking about the increases. So from 2013 to 2023, we've had a 10-point increase in percentage of people who say they own a gun, mm-hmm. right? Again, to your point, that's not the correct number, but the one that's published is still damning to Democrats and gun controllers, right? Quote, in the last 10 years, we've grown 10 points in gun ownership. That's a very stunning number, Micah Roberts of Public Opinion Strategies, who conducted the poll with Hart Research, told NBC News. Quote, by and large, things don't change that dramatically, that quickly when it comes to something as fundamental as whether you can own a gun. It's almost like Americans were like, no.
It's almost like America's saying, hey, stop it. You know, they're not on board with this gun control nonsense. They just aren't. And we saw that as an FFL during, the 2020 craziness, all the way up anywhere from the riots to C-19 to all the other stuff that was going on. We saw so many people after the Pulse nightclub tragedy. We saw tons of people from a market we very rarely see in the gun store coming in to buy guns.
Exactly.
And we took great pride in educating them and helping them pick the right defensive tools because the Second Amendment literally is for everybody. And people are realizing that the government is not going to protect you. They have no legal obligation to protect you according to the Supreme Court. You are responsible for your own safety. So do you want to sit cowering in a corner with somebody smashing through your front door, dialing 911, waiting 20 minutes for the cops to show up? Or do you want to deal with the problem at the front door? That's the ultimate question.
I completely agree.
Right?
I completely agree. And it's the hardest part sometimes. You're not going to get the far left, the gun control, like the committed gun control leftists. You're not going to get them. You're just not. But honest to goodness, if you're talking to anybody with a family or anybody with any base level of ownership or buy-in to what their community is about, you're not going to have people saying like, yeah, of course, no, I'm going to let the police do it over here. The government will take care of me. We're fine. There is no crime. It's a figment of your imagination. Those weren't riots, like Tim said. Those were mostly peaceful protests with a lot of bonfires. I mean, where you guys are, I mean, there's no one is buying that, man. No one. In fact,
nobody is.
You know what? Dr. Button Pusher, this is not a Venn diagram, but it is a graph. What do you think Kamala would say about this?
I love Venn diagrams. Okay.
Well, she can't have them. Number 9. This is a bar graph. So, ha! All right. Right here, Tim. This is the part that I really want to reinforce. And then we're going to get to your goofy gun grabbers. It is delicious. As you can see, from 04 to 13 to 19 to 23, there's dramatic ownership increases in every self-identified political party. Democrats, up. Independents, up. Republicans, up. Everyone is reading the tea leaves and looking around and going, yeah, nah, this ain't working out right now.
Yep.
I mean, people legitimately, the last time we saw this was in the 90s.
Look, our government is failing. And I hate saying that. But we have, we've racked up so much debt that there's no way we can continue. We just cannot continue on the path that we're on. But there's nobody changing that. They just keep printing money like we can, and it's not going to affect us. Like our economy can't collapse, like we're too big to fail. We aren't, but people are realizing this. They're watching outrageous inflation. They're looking at the prices of gas and food going through the roof. We already came through the C-19 unrest where people were rioting in the streets and doing all sorts of craziness. And people are starting to realize, oh my gosh, I really am responsible for my own safety here. And so all those gun control notions they may have once had, those fence sitters, the people in the middle that were undecided, are now making a decision. And they're siding with
100%.
us because they're realizing the promise of safety from the government is a flat out lie. It always has been. The government cannot provide you with safety. It simply cannot. And
it's just from like logistics, it can't.
No, it just can't unless they want to put a police officer in every single home, which I wouldn't want a stranger in my home. I'll just take care of my home myself. Thank you very much.
There's an amendment like that about that or something.
Yeah, I think there is. There's something about, quartering of troops or something like that. I'm sure that's
something like that.
I'm sure that's out there.
I don't know, but you know what? It's just an amendment. It's just a suggestion. It's no big deal.
It's from a couple hundred years ago with guys that wore white powdered wigs. It's outdated. We need.
They didn't have
the quarter troops
washing machines then, so they didn't understand how easy it was now. That's exactly what it is. Yep.